Hello, housemates, and welcome back to Planescape Torment on the River Lethe. We're walking around, we're doing some stuff. We have Dak on now.
All right.
So I've
All right.
been playing this on my own in a different different playthrough, my own time, just to refresh my memory of some stuff, so I don't bumble around too much in this playthrough. And I realized that I've sort of wasted a bit of XP on being a fighter. I should have gone. So when you're playing this like efficiently, you want to go straight to. Oh, where am I? No, die. You want to go straight to the person who can train you to be a mage, because there are level specialization bonuses at 7 and 12, and for the mage. Sometimes that's part of the level specialization bonuses are stats, and for mages, the stats are intelligence and wisdom. And obviously, those are the best. I've also remembered my party members have inventories. I think it's really loud. So as I was saying, in playing my own playthrough of this, I've realized that I've done things a bit inefficiently, and so I'm going to try and write that as much as I can right now, and go make myself a mage. To do that, I need to go where I have to go for the the main quest anyway, Ragpicker Square.
I'm gone. All right.
I'm gonna go here.
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave him behind.
This squat old woman looks like she has had all the color bled out of her. Everything from her hair, to her shawl, to her robe, all are shades of gray. The only splotches of color on her come from several strange herbs, which are tied to her belt by their stalks. The herbs make a strange when she moves, like a broom. Greetings. The elderly woman turns and stares at you, and you notice the gray shades blanketing her body extend to her features as well. Her hair is a wispy gray, and her eyes are like chips of granite. She frowns when she sees you. And who might ye be, Lie. The name's Adon. Who are you? With a sly cackle, she wags her eyebrows. Have ye not heard of old Mebeth, then? The midwife of the square, have ye not now? She narrows her eyes, and her voice drops. Well, now ye have, for I be Mebeth. You're a midwife? What do you do?
Updated my journal.
I set bones right, drive the cough out of the sick, yank out the squealing, stubborn babes, mend cloaks, or a rag or two, make cures and herbs and other such. She squints at you, studying her scars. Be needin' a cure or 3, do ye then? Cures? Aye, ye be needin' some cures to look at ya. Do ye want to buy some, do ye? She glances at the scars covering her body again, then shrugs. Too late to be asking for them, I think. I don't need any cures now, but they might be useful later. Could I see what you have? So you can come here and you can buy healing items. We don't have much cash at the moment, so we will not be doing that. You can also come here to get curses removed and things like that. Mebeth turns as you enter and gives you a skeptical eye. Your path brings you back here, does it, child? Yes, I had some questions for you. Go on, ask. Are you a witch, Mebeth? Mebeth scrutinizes you. I say not as to what I am and isn't, but what you be wantin' to know so fool bad for that you hound an old woman, barkin' and sniffin' for a juicy bit of gossip? I want to learn about magic. Could you teach me? Mebeth laughs. Pah! I'm no teacher, no school mistress all set up to teach like them in the big festal. There's others somewhere, I'm sure, that spill the dark of it. Ye'd be wasting your time with old Mebeth, so ye would. I don't agree. I think you have a lot to teach. Mebeth looks at you intently. Oh, I? Why do you want to learn such things? Let's see. Truth. Because I may need it to solve the mystery of who I am. What a line. That's right up there with in, I think, Iron Man 2, when Nick Fury is talking to Tony Stark and says, only you can solve the riddle of your heart, or some stupid shit like that. Come on. But it's what we're going to say anyway. After a moment, Mebeth nods. The art may help, it may not, and ye must not rely on it to solve all of your problems. She sighs. Child, it's most like only going to add another chip to your pile of questions. I understand. Will you teach me? Pah! Mebeth shakes her head. One should make songs rather than magic. Songs have more beauty. Magic's been made dull, commonplace, soiled by the mob of people that have tromped through it. Humph. She squints at you. I'll teach ye. But first, you'll need to do some things for me. You hear? Like what? My legs aren't good for walking about Sigil, and there's errands I have ye run. I need you to fetch me some herbs from the market. It's Spireward, easterly and southerly from here, in the Hive Market. Here's a sample. She takes a black seed from her coat and flicks it to you. Examine the seed.
Updated my journal.
You twist the black seed in your hand. As you do, you feel a small bite. Then a small drop of blood oozes from your thumb. There are tiny barbs on the seed, like teeth. Mebeth snorts. Careful with it. Show it to one of the fruit merchants at the market. They'll know what herbs you seek. Very well. Then I'll return when I have the herbs. So, this is the beginning of a series of fetch quests.
Done. All right.
It's gonna take a little while. Oh, wait. There's someone down here.
All right.
Hey, go back. No, not you. I'll talk to you later. No.
I'm gone.
You. As you approach the hooded, brown-robed man, you notice that he's mumbling to himself softly and occasionally nodding. Greetings. Someone comes to speak to Nod. Nod speaks to you, I. He suddenly breaks off into a fit of hacking coughs, then nods to himself. What are you doing? Nothing, except looking for debtors. Nothing else. He sniffs, and then gives another hacking cough. He mumbles for a moment, then speaks again. Nothing else. Need the jink. Jink, jink. Debtors. The man nods. Debtors. Can sell them to the Dusties. You can sell the corpses. We already know this. He starts nodding without really looking at you. Haul them to the black place, the mortuary. He tilts his head back and forth and nods again. There the Dusties, they haggles and gives jink. They takes the debtor in, they do, I, and Nod don't talk to him till the next body. He sniffs, wiping his nose with the back of his hand. Why do they pay for corpses? Blah, blah, blah. He shrugs. No matter, no matter. He smiles, then nods sagely. Jink for me. Jink, jink. What is this place? He frowns and licks his lips. Rag Picker Square, the square. Trash everywhere, I, everywhere. I had some questions. What? He sniffs, then squints at you. Jink? Then he taps his head, points at you, then points at his hand. You wants to know something. Jink. I. Jink, jink. Throw him 5 coppers. Jink for Nod. Jink, jink. He mumbles for a moment, hiding the copper coins away in the folds of his robes. Ask. Nod tries to answer. I. He coughs for a bit, spitting something off into the side. Tell me about Mebeth. Midwife. Curses and charms. She helped with the wee one. It's nice. He wrinkles his nose. Her place, up on the platform. Smells bad. Do you know of a man named Farad? He looks frightened and starts to shake his head. Farad. He scratches at his head. What about him? He frowns, then shakes his head, as if not sure he should be speaking to you. Do you know where I can find him? He shakes his head, then mumbles, glances quickly at you, then begins to murmur again to himself. It sounds like he's uttering a prayer against evil. Not here, in the square. He frowns, as if unsure how to explain it. But, not in the square. He shakes his head again, then coughs. That's all I wish to know. He shakes his head, coughs, then resumes his nodding. Ye'd ask Nod, Nod ask ye, question for ye, aye? Go ahead, ask your question. Nod has a sister, Amaris. Amaris lives in the hive, away from here, away from the square. So long ago, Nod was separated from his sister, taken away. You've been separated from her, and you'd like me to find her.
Updated my journal.
Ye don't know her? He shakes his head sadly for a moment, chewing his lower lip. If ye sees her, if he does, tell her Nod, her brother, worries about her, He does. He worries. Why don't you go find her? No! Nod covers his head with both arms, mumbling to himself. Nod can't speaks right no more, he can't, nay. And he smells corpses and the dirt and the square, ragpicker square. No! The outburst sends him into a fit of hacking coughs. What happened to you, Nod? Nod sniffs, looking at the ground quietly. Finally, he begins nodding to himself, speaking softly. Nod was young, he was starting to hear voices, telling Nod, do this, do that. Bad things, bad like chewing on Nod's fingers. He holds his hand to his face, and you can see old bite scars beneath the caked-on filth. Go on. So Nod's parents takes him away, they does, puts him in a dark place, a winged tower, where they pokes needles and hooks into Nod's head. Voices stop, they do, but Nod can't think right, can't talks right. Nod escapes the place, he does, wakes up in the hive, Where is this winged tower? Dunno, bad place, bad. He shakes his head violently, clutching his temples before resuming his usual nodding. Go on with your story. Nod wakes up, there's collectors, collectors poking at Nod, saying, look, not a deader he's not. Takes him back. And they takes Nod back, they does, back to the square. So long years ago. All right, I'll find your sister for you. Nod thanks you, he does, Nod thanks you. Amaris was pretty, so pretty, lives in the hive now. Fair skin she was, hair like jet, always in blue. She was always in blue.
Updated my journal.
All right, we've seen Amaris before. She is one of the numerous and sundry prostitutes in the hive. All right, let's see here.
Done.
Talk to him to get a side quest. Every inch of this man's skin is covered in a web of black lines. It's as if some artist chose to accentuate every crease in his flesh with a quill pen. The overall effect is such that even when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Greetings. This one has a name. This one is called Porphyron. The man's voice is like a gong as he speaks. The lines on his face bend and settle into a series of spherical patterns. This one would know. Why do you address this one? I wanted to ask some questions about the city. This one would have you know. This one cannot answer your questions. The lines on his face twist into angles, then split into a mess of scribbles. This one has only recently stepped foot in this place of walls. All right then, but I have to ask, why do the lines upon your face move? These lines show anger. Do you take offense? The lines slowly straighten, forming into gentle curves. No offense was meant. Will you accept the many apologies of this one? No offense taken. Why are you angry? This one tells of the event recent. Did you know this one was beset by three? The three demanded an item of this one. This one feared an attack. What does this one do? This one surrendered the item. Well, you were right to be afraid. If there were three, then they might have killed you had you not given up the item. This one has been misunderstood. The lines on his face become angled, then smooth into curves again. This one did not fear being killed. This one feared killing the three. Well, if you could have killed them, why did you let them rob you? This one walks the path of a warrior. Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, the smiter. These tools are well known to this one. That's not much of an explanation. Again, if you're a warrior with that much training, why let them rob you? This one is forbidden to attack. The lines ripple across his face as he speaks. If this one had struck at the three in anger, the vow of non-violence would be unmade. Vow of non-violence? You're a warrior and a pacifist? This one is unfamiliar with your speech. What is this pacifist? Never mind. Why did you train so much if you're not permitted to attack another? This one is of the Order of Ep8. We await the final days where we will all be called to battle. The training and skills of this one, they are to be kept silent until then. In the meantime, you will let yourself be robbed in the street without defending yourself? This one will clarify. The item is of value. The discipline of Ep8 is of greater value. Since you won't fight, any chance you could talk these thieves into returning your item? This one addresses the three thieves. What happens? The requests of this one are met with scorn. The three will not return the item. Okay, I could go see if I could get them to get the item back for you. This one must ask, would you bring violence to the three that have robbed this one? Not if I can help it. This one fears. A message absent of violence will not be understood. The lines on the man's face form into a series of ellipses. This one is not opposed to you trying. All right then, what is the item you've lost? The item is this, a rope of black and red prayer beads worn around the neck. The worth of these beads is not measured in copper. The worth of these beads is measured in faith. All right then, I'll see if I can find this necklace. Do you know where these three thugs might be? This one knows where the angry words were traded and the item lost. By the bar that burns inside? The three were outside this place, dressed in black and red. All right, three robbers dressed in black and red outside the smoldering corpse bar. I'll go find them. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
But first, let's go to the market. Because we're gonna become a mage. We want to use all XP for being better at being a mage. I'm in the wrong place. Down.
Done.
So there are umpteen million people to talk to. And, you know, I have to read all of their talking. Alright, here's the marketplace. Here is for the finest fruits and herbs. We want you. Hey, dude. This older merchant has a worldly look to him. His deep voice is gentle but confident. Ah, hello there. Are you ready to sample some of the most delectable treats from across the plains, my good man? Mebeth, midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from this seed. Here. Can you help me? The man takes the seed, looks at it critically. He presses it between his thumb and forefinger. He winces. A small drop of blood appears on his thumb. Ah! This seed's got a bite on it. I noticed that. Do you have the herb she's talking about? He can't seem to take his eye off the seed. Lad, I don't know if there's anyone who has what your friend seeks. To be square, I've never seen such a seed before. You would need someone who cultivates seeds such as this, for I have none. All right. Very well. Where would I find such a person?
Updated my journal.
Don't know the dark of that, friend. He hands you the seed back. You'd be hard-pressed to find a gardener in the hive. Maybe Mourns for Trees could help. Farewell. Alright, Mourns for Trees is in the same area as the Smoldering Corpse Bar, I believe. So we need to go over.
I'm gone. I'm gone. done.
And Amaris is around here as well. Right here. You see a young woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. She smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles coyly as she sees you. Seeking company, love? Are you by any chance Amaris? She stares at you silently for a time, then speaks. I was called that once, long ago. Who are ye? I was sent to find you by Nod, your brother. He's worried about you and hoped I could tell him how you were. Nod? He's alive? Where? You didn't come to... Why didn't he come to seek me out himself? I think he's ashamed. He's a collector now, living in poverty in Ragpicker Square. He doesn't seem quite right. In the head, I mean.
Updated my journal.
Aye, a bit touched he was, even as a child, when his name was Thodus. Oh, I've missed him so. Ashamed, though. Me own work's no more proud. Well, at least I'm doing well for myself. For a hiver, at any rate, huh? I must visit him soon. She looks at you closely for the first time since you've spoken. Are ye a friend of Nod's, or... Of a sort, yes. Why? Could ye... She frowns, biting her lip as if considering something. Could ye give this to him? She steps close to you and offers a pouch of what looks to be about 100 copper commons. Yes, I'll get it to him. So if you swear you'll get it to him, that's more lawful. So one thing, almost every conversation option that you take affects your alignment in some way, shape, or form in this game, either making you more chaotic, more lawful, more good, more evil. Generally, lying makes you more chaotic. Telling the truth makes you more lawful and will also usually make you more good or evil. So for instance, if you tell the truth and when you're like threatening someone you say, give it here or I'll kill you, that makes you more lawful and more evil because you're not trying to trick them with a fake threat of violence. You're telling them, look, I'm actually going to kill you. This is just the truth. So, and then of course, good is when you do things out of the goodness of your heart and you don't ask for rewards when you're initiating the quest. If you do ask for money when you're initiating a quest, that usually tends to make you more evil. So everything does that, and your alignment will change over time. There are some things which you can do which just really pile it on in one direction or the other, and it's hard to come back from that if you want to change your alignment at a later point. So you'll get a sense for it. There's no like numbers or indicators anywhere. You just have to figure it out for yourself. In any case, so we are going to... We're going to swear? I can't remember. Yeah. Yes. I swear I'll get it to him.
Updated my journal.
She hands you the pouch. I thank you. Go speak to Nod for me, and I'll tell him how I worry. I will. Farewell. Okay.
All right.
Where am I going? Oh yeah.
I'm gone.
There's also some random dude somewhere that's like spoiling for a fight. I think we encountered him earlier, and then I left him.
All
because
right.
I wasn't ready to fight yet. Is he right here? Yeah. It's... Well... Wait. Did he leave? That was the... Hello? So he said, greetings. He flinches, startled out of his meditations. As he sees you, a look of panic creeps over his features. We need to speak. Of what did you wish to speak, my lord? Why am I threatening him? Nothing, never mind. I don't know why. So there used to be the fighter dude here. I wonder, maybe he's only there during the day, maybe we missed our opportunity, I'm not sure. Okay, here is Mourns for Trees. We're going to talk to him. Mourns for Trees smiles widely upon seeing you. Ah, my friend, you've returned. Something you wished from me? No. I wanted to ask Dakon to help you. One finds your request most intriguing. Trees in the hive, like cities in limbo, they would stand as testament to the will of the people not to bow to that which surround and devour them, to take what has been thrust upon them or left behind and make good of it. I, too, care for the trees. Thanks. I had some questions, Morns. He nods, awaiting your question. I need herbs sprung from this seed. Can you help me? Mourns for Trees takes the seed from you and holds it up to his eye. What an odd seed. Are those teeth along the edge? Barbs, perhaps? Where did you come by it, friend? Old Mebeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from that seed. Do you know where I could get some? No. Mourns for Trees continues to stare at the seed in his hand. This is the only seed of its kind I've ever seen. He winces. A spot of blood glistens on his thumb. The barbs on it are sharp indeed. Perhaps you should hold it. So you can't help me either. Unless you can make that one grow, I cannot. Again, I've never seen a seed of its like before, friend. If we wanted it to grow enough, is it possible to make it grow? Mourns for Trees looks at the seed. Perhaps if you cared enough to see it grow. Focus on the seed. Will it to grow. To your surprise, there is a crack, and the seed splits. Twigs splitting from its surface like fingers. Instinctively, you drop the seed, but the talon-like twigs wrap around your wrist and will not let go. What the hells?
Updated my journal.
Mourns for Trees stares at the barbed branches wrapped around your wrist, stunned. I think the barbs on those new branches would be more than enough for what your friend needs. I hope she can get this damn thing off of me. Look, before I go, I had some questions. Any change in the trees yet? Yes, friend, there has been. It's so slight you can barely see it, but look, fresh sap from the trunk, a handful of new buds. It's only a matter of time now. I thank you again for giving me hope once more. You're welcome, Mourns for Trees. Farewell. So, to get that XP, all you have to do is have yourself and 2 companions, or I guess 3 companions,
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the
think
worst
happy
time.
thoughts at the trees, and then, that's about it, really. Get a little bit of XP. Where are we going? We're going back to Mebeth. So just to go ahead and let you know, there are like 2 more parts to this fetch quest. So that's basically what we'll be doing this episode, is becoming a mage.
I'm gone. Done. I'm gone.
Walkie, walkie, walkie.
All right. I'm gone.
So there's, being a mage, obviously you can play the game as any of the various character types, but being a mage is the best, I think, if only because it forces you to focus on some of the best attribute types in the game, namely intelligence and wisdom, and the bonuses you get at level 7 and 12, again, are to those stats. And also, there's a lot of nifty spells and stuff that you can only use if you're a mage. Mebeth turns as you enter and gives you a skeptical eye. Your path brings you back here, does it, child? I returned with those herbs you wanted. Now, maybe you can get this damned bramble patch off my wrist. Is that so? Mebeth glances at the barbs that surround your wrist. If so, think it off then. Do so.
Updated my journal.
Creaking and snapping, the blacked barbed branches unravel themselves from your wrist and form into a tangled ball of brush and twigs. It looks like the nest of dead black snakes. Mebeth snorts. Think it into a picture frame or some such, something with more structure and less angles. Concentrate on the barbed ball. Then, Imagine a picture frame. The branched ball creaks, the twigs bending and twisting until the branches have bent themselves into a small picture frame, 2 handspans on a side. Almost unconsciously, you imagine and shape the barbs to the back of the frame so it can be hung from the wall easily. And, as an afterthought, you move the remaining barbs to the inside of the frame so it can be picked up on the edges. How's that? Mebeth stares at the frame for a moment, then cackles. Ha! Square enough it is. Good work, child, good work. She picks up the frame and scrutinizes it. This'll do nicely. Is that all you wanted it for? Aye. Well, this is enough, she sniffs. Aye, there was one thing I forgot to tell ye the fetch last time, and it'll take you back to Merchant Square, it will. Look for the cloth seller, Giscoral. He has some rags of mine that he was supposed to wash, and long has it been since I first asked him to do it. You could have mentioned that before I left. All right, I'll be back. Back to the marketplace. Oh, wait, we can talk to Nod. Nod, what's up? I met your sister. Someone comes to speaks to Nod. Nod speaks to Nod. He suddenly breaks into a fit of coughing. I spoke to your sister, Emerise. Ye did? Nod's so happy he is. How's Nod's sister? Tell him of Emerise. Tell Nod, please. His excitement sets off a long series of hacking coughs. When he can finally speak again, he asks, Is Nod's sister still pretty, so pretty? Yes, she is. She's a prostitute now, in the hive. She is doing well, and she's worried for you. Nod's so pleased to know his sister's all right. He looks as if he's going to cry for a moment, then swallows hard. Anything more, she said, for Nod to hears? Yes. She wanted you to have these copper commons. She will also visit you as soon as she can find the time.
Updated my journal.
Nod's head stops nodding abruptly, and his jaw drops as you hand him the 100 coins. Beneath the dirt-brown hood, his eyes gleam with joy. Such wonderful news it is. Good, wonderful news. Nod thanks ye, and thanks ye again, and thanks ye 1,000 times more. Glad I could help. Farewell, Nod. So obviously you can make an easy 100 coins there by lying and taking the money for yourself, but that would be a dick move. And you should only do that if you want to be a dick-face character. You will have plenty of opportunities to be a total bastard in this game, so don't you worry.
I'm gone.
Alright, back to wherever the hell we're going.
I'm gone.
The marketplace, that's where we're going.
Done. Done.
Now we're finding Giscoral, the cloth seller.
I'm gone.
He's right here. Giscoral turns to you. Giscoral. He bows, spreading his trembling, scarred hands. Giscoral. I'm here to pick up someone's wash. Mebeth, the midwife, Ragpicker Square. Giscoral blinks. Washcloth? Yes, Mebeth, Ragpicker Square. Ragpicker. He taps his fingers as if counting something. I know. I remember. He holds up a trembling finger as if telling you to wait. He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with a greenish lime starch that it looks like it would take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Giscoral washcloth, starchcloth, every fifth day. Washcloth, starchcloth, every 5th day. His eyes flicker. Giscoral wash many years, always starchcloth on 5th day. Giscoral's ritual. But they're ruined. Washcloth is Giscoral's ritual. His voice is flat, almost zombie-like. Must starchcloth every 5th day. What's the point of doing it every 5 days when they don't need... Never mind. Just hand them over. Give cloth. He nods, then hands you the rags. They're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. Back to Mebeth.
Can't run while I'm carrying all this.
Oh, I'm carrying stupid cloth and it's so heavy. Here. Take that, Morte. And we're walking.
I'm gone. Done. All right.
Once we become a mage, we will do some more side quests, get some XP going. So really,
right.
As I may have said before, if you're doing this efficiently, you should avoid leveling up at all as a fighter, except maybe one level to get some hit points. And then you should just come straight to Ragpicker Square and Mebeth to become a mage, and get everything, get all your XP as a mage. I brought your wash. I think Giscoral was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual, though. She takes the stacks of starched green rags from you, and she examines them critically. At least they won't tear, she sighs. Or bend. What was with the cloth merchant Giscoral? His hands were all scarred, and he seemed slow. Mebeth is still turning the cloth over in her hands, tapping it with her finger. Well, child, sometimes one burns with the art, and other times the art burns ye. Is that what happened to him? Mebeth clicks her tongue. Mayhap. There's some for who using the art is like breathing. They strolls about with pointy hats and stinkweed pipes. Then there's hedge wizards and plain-touch gypsies, fortune casters, half-seers, midwives who flicker with the art. They have a harder time of it. I think pointy hats and stinkweed pipes is obviously supposed to be like a reference to Gandalf and the sort of archetypical wizard like Elminster in the Forgotten Realm setting. And Giscoral was one of these, the second type. Mebeth nods. Aye, so to speak. In some ways, he's no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual he was. She sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as she places them on the floor. Aye, now there's one last thing I need from me, child. Of course. What do you need? Only this. I need some inks for scribing some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I'll need you to fetch some from one of the merchants. Casa Jai be her name. All right. I'm off. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
This is the last step in the fetch quest. Don't worry.
Done.
So there are all kinds of very interesting side quests, and the reading gets heavier and heavier as the game progresses.
I'm gone.
There are going to be some parts of the game where I will basically have entire episodes where I'm just reading. We're not actually going much of anywhere in the game. I'll just be going and having a lot of conversations and such. So it'll be like listening to an audiobook. Alright, here's Casa Jai. The old woman gives you a gummy smile. Some fish, me child, fish heads. A cloying fish smell surrounds her. Mebeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? She chuckles. Nay, sir, I sells no ink. I sells just fish. Are you sure? Mebeth, the midwife in Ragpicker Square, mentioned you specifically. Heh. Well, Casa Jai was me dam's name too, and me granddam's name, so it could be any of us. Yet they're both in the dead book, so only this Casa Jai matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in Picker Square, you say? She thinks for a moment. Don't know her. I don't. So, you don't have any ink. Well, I can't say that's much of a surprise. I swear, Mebeth is having me run around in circles. Now, hold on. Your midwife friend's not all wrong. I know how you can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of the Brigada fin. It does. This Brigada fin bleeds ink? She frowns. Aye, the thing is, that fish not's for eat. It's got a horrible taste, scalds the tongue. You can ask Merrim if she pitches her fish cell down the street a southerly way. She cackles. She might have one of the fish she needs on her pole. All right, I'll go seek her out.
Updated my journal. I'm gone.
Get out of my way, everyone.
Done.
I'm doing mage things. Well, met again, sir. What can I do ye for? Have you heard of the Brigada fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. She blinks, then nods. Aye, that fish. That's a strange one it is. Not many have heard of it unless it want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still writhes. Do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but the ink, you'll be needing something to carry it in. Have ye a bowl or cup perchance? Or a tankard. Maybe one of the merchants is selling one. Goodbye. Merchant Quest 5000 continues. We will speak to everyone. So it is this lovely lady we need to speak to. This attractive young woman is smiling and beckoning to all passers-by as she calls out the virtues of her goods. Plates, jugs, cups, tankards, drink from the goblets of the finest lords. Upon seeing you, she waves you over as if you were an acquaintance. May I see what you're selling here? I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery and the like, sir. All of quality, sir. The finest. She steps back and lifts the lid of the crate of the wagon behind her. Please, look over my goods. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask. I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or goblet for sale? She nods. Oh yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred. Actually, I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into the crate at her side, then throws a battered-looking tankard to you. It is covered in dents, and its handle looks like it's about to fall off. This one looks like it is used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. It'll do. Thanks. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
1 copper
All right.
for a murder weapon. It was the Nameless one in the smoldering corpse bar with the beat-up tankard. All right. Well, met again, sir. What can I do for ye? I brought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish-black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal. All right.
So that is one of many sort of... That's not even particularly an uncomfortable scene. You think, oh, this person is wringing out a live fish. Gross. Just you wait.
All right.
Just you wait.
I'm gone.
I will have the pleasure of reading many disturbing things.
Done.
Oh. Really? Is this what you want? Stupid thugs. No, attack the thugs. Don't stand there.
Damn. Damn.
Also, a good thing about being a mage is that you don't have to engage in this kind of janky combat as much. You can let your minions do that kind of thing while you cast spells and do cool stuff with cool animations.
I'm gone.
All right, Ragpicker Square, come on. Mebeth, got your damn ink. Mebeth is tugging at the mass of greenish lime-starched rags you brought from Giscorl. She seems to be purposefully fraying the edges as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she says, Aye, child. Here's the ink you wanted. Mebeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink, fresh it is, aye. She nods at you. You've done well, child. All I've asked. Now, I ask ye again, after all you've seen, do ye still want to learn the art? Yes. After all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? And patience. Mebeth smiles, then nods. Yes, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Mebeth nods again, slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. If and so, what did your senses tell ye about them? Mourns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Giscoral taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Mayrim taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. Mebeth is silent for a moment. Then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Oh, child, she sighs, ye will be a master sorcerer one day, ye will. Ye have the knowing of it, yet ye've come to old Mebeth for help, ye have. What could a midwife teach such a one? Much, Mebeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. So, ye'll walk the path then? Mebeth pauses. Well, first things firstly, just having the knack for the art isn't enough. Ye need some means of giving it focus. Usually, spells. The spells are usually in a book, so the art demands ye have a spell book, or it's like, afore ye can cast spells. Can ye read? Yes. Now then, let's test it. Can ye read this? Mebeth draws forth a small, tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine the recipe. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try and read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once. And the symbols suddenly begin to bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Mebeth's eyes widen. Who are ye to test Mebeth so? Are ye some fiend? No, well, not to my knowledge. What's wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it was I. She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What ye see is written in the language of the art. If ye are not a mageling yet, it should be all a swirl and jumble of mishmash. She snaps her finger. Yet clear as crystal ye pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap ye tell old Mebeth why that is. I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jarred my memory. Or else a natural gift ye may have. No matter. Ye've just shaved seasons off your learning ye have. Mebeth harumphs. And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here, I had. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that, she frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good without a book to put them in. Do you have one? Mebeth glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of the black-barbed picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies it. This'll do. That thing, it's just a frame. Aye, but so are ye, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Giscoral. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starched surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Giscoral uses in the wash, it works better than curing, stretching, and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. Parchment? She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barbed frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, it needs something painted on it. She nods. Aye, or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. All's done. Mebeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange, framed page in front of her. A page for your spellbook it is. She indicates you should pick it up. Inside your spellbook are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, although they're just words. She taps her head. The art demands ye pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, afore ye can tap their power. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? No, Mebeth. Oh, no questions, eh? Well, now ye should have questions. Ye know alls about how to memorize spells, do ye? You're a sharp one. Ye sure didn't need any more of Mebeth's words all a gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. Forgive me, Mebeth. I meant no questions on what you said. Please explain how to memorize spells. Humph. All right, then. Here's the dark of how you memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your book afore you goes to sleep. When you wake up in the morning, they'll be buzzing around your head like flies, ready to be let out. How many spells can I cast? You can only cast one, mayhap 2 spells for needing to rest again. As a tiny flitting mageling, there ain't much room in your attic, so use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. All right, go on. You can only cast spells you've memorized, so if you want to use the art to, say, mend something twice, you need to memorize the spell how many times? Twice. Mebeth nods. Aye, twice, right enough. How can I get more spells?
Updated my journal.
Mebeth shrugs. Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. There's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want. Got it. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you've a little more of the planes in ye. I'd appreciate it, thanks. Afore you go, child, you'll need some magics to whet your appetite. Mebeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you. You should copy these into your book, so they can get into your attic as soon as possible. Thanks, Mebeth.
Updated my journal.
Wait, there's more. Mebeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings. These will protect ye on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Thanks again. All right, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as he has other ways to spend one's time rather than hanging around old Mebeth. Oh, now come on, Mebeth. You're not old. Pah, ye flatterer. Ye tongue is so lined with silver it'd shame a bat zoo. Get ye hence. Farewell, Mebeth.
I feel stronger.
Alright, we're finally a fucking mage. Now I can level up. Oh, I got 0 hit points. Awesome. Fuck you, randomization. Whatever. I don't care about hit points. So I still need 2,000 more XP to go up the next level. I can get that really quickly by talking to Dakon about the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. But that is a lot. It's one of those episodes where I'm just going to read to you for like 40 minutes. So we're not going to do that right now. This episode is stretched on long enough. We will, however, read for 40 minutes in the next episode as we discuss the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon with Dakon and get mad XP for doing so and become more powerful just standing around. You don't have to go fight anyone. We just read. You know, that's how people get magical knowledge. You don't have to fight monsters. Just read a damn book. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Me going around fetching random stuff and talking to merchants. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see the next episode, you want to listen to me read from a religious text of an alien, well, then you should subscribe to my channel. Eventually, I will also do some sort of like actual, I don't want to say recap, discussion of the many numerous themes that go on in Planescape Torment in a sort of philosophical way, because that is my want. And so you'll also want to stay tuned for that. If you're not going to do any of those things, if you don't care about any of that, well then, I don't care about you.